Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express lane to being well-informed on the major movements rocking technology and science.
Today we're tackling a fascinating stack of source material.
We really are. It reveals this deep tension in the tech world.
Exactly. You have these seemingly limitless aspirations of AI on one side.
And then on the other, they are running directly into some very real, very physical barriers.
Right. Our mission today is to give you the crucial insights into these shifts. We've got CEO psychology, major infrastructure bottlenecks.
Bottlenecks that are about to affect the price of your everyday devices.
For sure. And then some genuinely revolutionary science that suggests a completely new, sustainable way forward.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
We're diving deep into three movements. The psychological pressures at the very top, the material reality of the intensifying chip shortage, and then some incredible science that's challenging everything.
Everything from hardware design to who can even go to space.
We are starting with a feeling you might not expect to hear from one of the most successful people in AI today, envy.
Right.
Specifically, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, expressing genuine envy toward current Gen Z college dropouts.
At first glance, it just sounds absurd, doesn't it? Altman is, the quintessential success story.
He's a famous Stanford dropout himself. He built one of the world's most consequential companies.
So why on earth would he envy someone who is just starting out?
It seems strange, but he's essentially saying he misses that mental agility of being, well, unencumbered.
He's looking at these young founders and wishing he had their circumstances.
So what's the burden he's carrying that they aren't?
He specifically called out the lack of freedom and mental space.
Mental space.
Yeah, think about the scope of his responsibilities. When you lead a company the size of OpenAI, you're not just brainstorming in a garage anymore.
No.
You're constrained by massive shareholder expectations, managing thousands of employees, navigating global regulations.
And you're carrying the weight of all your existing products and commitments. You're defending a market position.
Exactly. It's the difference between trying to invent a brand new type of airplane
versus trying to redesign the world's largest aircraft carrier while it's still sailing full speed.
That's a perfect analogy. These young founders, they get to start with a blank document, a clean whiteboard.
And Altman, who skipped Stanford himself, he sees that clean slate and that lack of corporate constraint as the ultimate competitive edge.
And this really reinforces a significant cultural shift for you, the listener. It underscores that the path to success in tech is changing.
It's less about the diploma, which I think we largely get now.
Right. It's much more about the ability to adapt instantly and seize opportunities. The speed of adaptation and having that clean operational slate, that often dictates success more than just having a ton of resources.
It really shows that even at the very top, time and mental capacity are the scarcest resources of all.
That's a fascinating way to put it.
So that's the psychological bottleneck.
Yeah.
But that mental pressure almost pales in comparison to the material bottlenecks.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all that intellectual freedom Altman envies still runs on atoms. Let's pivot from those psychological pressures to the intense physical pressures on global supply chains.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
I'm ready.
AI is not just demanding talent, it is physically demanding the world's memory.
And that demand is about to hit your pocketbook. We're talking specifically about the global shortage of RAM chips, random access memory.
These are the workhorse components. They're crucial for the smooth operation of almost every consumer device you own. Your PC, your smartphone, your game console.
Right. We all know AI relies on massive computing power from GPUs, but why are the memory chips the specific choke point right now?
Because training and running these large AI models requires keeping absolutely vast amounts of data immediately accessible for the compute cores.
So it's not just about storage like a hard drive.
Not at all. It's about instantaneous access. It demands incredibly high bandwidth, very tight proximity to the processing power, and these just huge, persistent memory footprints.
And that infrastructure has pushed cloud computing and data centers to just consume RAM at a rate no one saw coming.
No one. And the market consequences are, well, they're brutal for buyers.
The sources show demand is outstripping supply by a critical 10%.
10%. And we're expecting prices for memory chips to surge by 40%.
40%. Just in the coming quarter.
Just in the coming quarter. That's a huge inflationary hit across every single tech sector.
And the alarming part is that this isn't some temporary glitch that's going to resolve itself in 6 months.
No, the shortage and the rising prices are expected to continue right through 2026. This is creating a huge strategic dilemma globally.
Wait, okay, so if the next major facility that could bring substantial supply online,
Mhm.
that Micron facility in Idaho, if that's not slated to be operational until 2027,
Correct.
what are developers and chip buyers doing right now to bridge that 3-year scarcity gap?
Well, they're employing efficiency tricks. Things like model quantization, pruning unnecessary parameters.
Trying to squeeze every last drop of performance out of the hardware they already have.
Exactly. And they're prioritizing their existing inventory for high-value contracts, which, leaves the consumer market struggling. But at the end of the day, for the biggest models, they're just forced to pay the premium.
So for you, the listener, this is the concrete hidden cost of the AI boom.
It is.
Higher prices for your next phone, your new laptop, or upgrading your gaming rig. It's a direct consequence of the massive infrastructure AI requires.
That really frames the future of compute as a physical resource problem, not just a software one.
It does. But while the industry struggles to build enough conventional hardware, some incredible scientific breakthroughs are happening.
Often by rethinking that physical layer entirely.
Let's shift focus to these breakthroughs. First, a truly historic moment in space accessibility.
This was amazing.
We saw German engineer Michaela Benthaus become the first paraplegic person to experience suborbital spaceflight.
This is such a major turning point. She was on Blue Origin's New Shepard capsule and floated weightless for over 3 minutes at more than 65 miles of altitude.
Incredible.
This accomplishment, it just signals that space travel is actively opening up to a much broader market. The physical constraints we once just accepted for being an astronaut are being rapidly questioned.
Absolutely. Now let's talk sustainable hardware, which directly addresses the toxicity problem in current electronics.
Okay.
Korean researchers have built a fully biodegradable artificial synapse.
This is revolutionary science. They built a brain-like chip using materials like chitosan,
Which comes from crab shells.
crab shells, along with plant fibers and bean extracts. It's literal biological waste being turned into advanced computing hardware.
And the specs on efficiency are just stunning. It operates at just 0.85 femtojoules per signal. Can you put that in context for us?
Certainly, a femtojoule is a quadrillionth of a joule. This means they are operating on practically zero energy.
So it's mimicking the efficiency of the human brain's own synapses.
Exactly. Not the power-hungry, brute force approach of current AI.
And what about memory retention? For something designed to literally dissolve back into nature, how long can it hold information?
They recorded memory retention for nearly 100 minutes,
Wow.
which is the longest ever recorded for any biodegradable synapse. This paves the way for a future where neuromorphic AI hardware can learn, adapt, and then just safely break down without creating toxic waste.
Moving from biodegradable AI to generating energy from the Earth itself, a Princeton-led team created a device that generates voltage directly from Earth's rotation.
It's an astounding proof of concept. They are harnessing the very spin of our planet.
So free energy.
Well, the necessary nuance here is that the power output is currently orders of magnitude too small for any practical use. It's more of a scientific principle being proven than a power generator right now.
But the principle is the breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
It suggests that constant fuel-free energy could be possible if this effect can be scaled up.
For sure. And the team is being admirably transparent about it, calling for independent labs to reproduce their results. That's classic science in action.
And finally, our last major scientific breakthrough takes us to Mars.
Yes, University of Mississippi researchers have identified what they are calling the ideal spot for a future human base, a region called Amazonas Planitia.
What makes this location the winner for human habitation? Why there?
The key finding is the accessibility of water. Water ice sits less than 1 meter beneath the surface.
Just 1 meter, so it's shallow enough to harvest easily.
Very easily. And that ice provides 3 crucial resources for any long mission: drinking water, oxygen, and of course rocket fuel.
The ultimate resource triangulation for survival.
Exactly. This mid-latitude site achieves the perfect balance. It gets enough sunlight for solar power, but it stays cold enough to preserve that vital ice for the long haul. It really changes the math on long-term Mars habitation.
That's a powerful snapshot. Okay, let's quickly pivot to a couple of tools that can leverage the power of current AI for immediate productivity gains for you, the learner.
Let's focus on information management and research assistance.
First, If you find yourself scrolling through those endlessly long online community threads, especially on sites like Reddit, the Reddit Summarizer is incredibly useful.
Oh, this is a lifesaver. Instead of sifting through hundreds of comments to find the real consensus or the key arguments, this tool just instantly distills the whole discussion for you. It saves a huge amount of time.
It's pure information efficiency. And for real-time help right in your daily workflow, look for Claude in Chrome.
This is key. It integrates that powerful AI assistant directly into your browser.
So you don't have to keep switching tabs to ask a follow-up question about an article you're reading.
Or to draft a quick summary of a web page. It's right there with you, acting like a seamless, real-time research co-pilot.
So what does this all mean? We've covered a pretty profound tension today.
We have.
On one side, you have this philosophical desire for absolute freedom and rapid movement, symbolized by Sam Altman's envy for a clean slate.
And on the other, you have the stark physical reality of the memory chip shortage, which is locking down innovation with a concrete 2027 manufacturing timeline.
The sources reveal that the traditional race for speed and scale in AI is just running headlong into a manufacturing wall.
A wall that is already affecting your wallet. Meanwhile, the most revolutionary science, from biodegradable chips to accessible spaceflight, is moving away from raw brute force.
It's moving toward efficiency, sustainability, and totally novel brain-like design.
It is.
And this leaves us with a truly provocative thought for you to consider. If the physical resources needed to train these ever larger AI models,
The memory chips.
if they continue to outpace supply well into 2027, will that market scarcity force an unexpected resurgence in demand for hyper-efficient, smaller systems?
Or even those biologically inspired systems like those incredible synapses we talked about.
How will that 3-year scarcity gap redefine what we even call innovation?
Will developers be forced to prioritize efficiency and novelty over sheer size, fundamentally reshaping the trajectory of AI hardware much faster than anyone predicted?
We hope this deep dive provided you with valuable context and some new ways to look at the week's biggest news.
From Mars exploration to the price increase coming for your next smartphone.
Consider these infrastructure shifts when you're making purchasing decisions or even planning your career path. The physical reality of AI is catching up quickly.
It certainly is.
We'll catch you on the